This is not just about deportation. This is about how they're going to treat people of color in America, and this is how he's going to get to have martial law because he wants to goad us into a fight. They have all the guns. We know they have all the guns. We got to let people know that we have a right to speak up. We're supposedly in a democracy and have a voice, but we've got to heighten that voice. We've got to improve that voice. We've got to get more people involved, and perhaps we can push back.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, please make sure that you are following me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we are headed to Los Angeles, my city of residence. Yes, I'm out here in LA where all of the peaceful protesting is going on. There was a lot of peaceful protesting happening last night, and we're going to cover that in the next video that's going to be uploaded in the next, we'll say 2 to 3 hours tops, so be on the lookout for that. But first, before we get into the peaceful protest that's been happening here in LA, what we need to get into is the foolishness of Mad Max, better known as Maxine Waters. Why do I want to discuss her today? Well, I want to discuss Maxine Waters today because I want to take a moment to once again expose just the foolishness of these DNC lunatics, the hypocrisy of these DNC lunatics, and how everything is just theatric. Everything that they do is all for show. Nothing that they do is genuine, okay? This is not the face of a genuine individual that you're looking at right there. This is the face of a lunatic, a DNC lunatic, to be exact, right? That's what you're looking at when you see this woman's face. And that's what I want to talk about today, because she went down to the peaceful protests going on in LA yesterday, and she disrespected the National Guardsmen in a way that they didn't deserve to be disrespected, just verbally attacking them. It was so ridiculous, and it's all just for show. And what was so satisfying about the entire time that she was down there with all the different video clips of her that was caught on camera is this moment that we're going to watch here, because ICE agents weren't playing any games with her. She tried to pull a, what's that woman's name again? LaMonica McIver, right? She tried to pull a LaMonica McIver and rush her way into a federal facility. But this time the federal agents weren't having it, and they slammed the door in her face. And it's so satisfying to see this. So we're going to watch this first. Let's take a little moment to get some of this humor in before I play some other clips of Maxine Waters verbally assaulting the National Guardsmen and just speaking complete absurdities. Once again, it's all for show. This is all an act. These people don't stand on or stand for anything other than chaos. So let's get into Mad Max right now. We're going to jump into this clip next.
No, I want you to, hello, Congresswoman Waters. I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
Ma'am, we're logging securely now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public appeal.
I need to get in.
Oh my God, that was so satisfying. There's more to the video. Let me take it from the top. I'm gonna try not to interrupt. It's maybe about a minute. This video is maybe about 45 seconds long. Then we're going to get into her foolishness even more. Oh my God, that was so satisfying.
No, I want you to, hello.
Listen, first off, Maxine Waters is like 200 years old. And I'll say this much, as a 200-year-old woman, she got up those stairs pretty quick. You know, I'm not going to lie. She's moving pretty fast for being as old as she is. Okay, now I'll let it run.
No, I want you to, hello, Congresswoman Waters. I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
Ma'am, we're logging securely now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public appeal.
I need to get in.
What are you hoping to do, Congresswoman?
I just want to see David Huerta. Right.
Would a congressperson normally be able to enter the...
Normally, yes.
What is happening here?
Well, there were some of the authorities, I don't know who they were, And I'm trying to get in to see David Huerta, who they have arrested. He is the head of SEIU local union here. I don't know why he was targeted. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know whether they're going to deport him. I want to report back to my caucus about what's happening, but they have.
So quickly it gets into theatrics. I don't know what they're doing with him here. I don't know why he's arrested. I don't know if he's going to be deported. I don't know what's going on with him. Who she's speaking about, for those of you who don't know, this gentleman that was arrested by the feds, he was obstructing justice, right? He was obstructing justice. He was getting in the way of ICE entering into the facility that he was occupying at the time so that they can go in and get some illegal immigrants that they had warrants for to go get, right? He was getting in the way of that, and he was himself arrested for obstructing justice, and henceforth why now he's in the facility that he's in, that Congresswoman Waters is trying to force her way into, but then the door was slammed in her face, you know, as we saw right here. And it was such a beautiful thing to see. Now, I don't want to belabor this point too much longer. What I want to do next is let's get into some of the foolishness of Maxine Waters, just concerning how she disrespected these National Guardsmen, right? So that's what I want to do next. I just want to give you guys a close-up of her face one more time for comic relief. And what we'll do now is let's get into this next video clip here. So let me pull that up for you right now.
Yeah, I'm done. What are you going to do? You going to shoot some kid who's afraid of you and run? You going to shoot an elected official? If you shoot me, you better shoot straight.
Did you hear what she's saying? She said, what are you doing here? Did you come here to shoot some kid? Did you come here to shoot an elected official? And if you're going to shoot me, you better shoot straight. Once again, this woman is like 200 years old, acting like a complete psychopath. You are so unserious. This woman is so unserious. And like I said, that's why saying nonsense like this just goes to show how theatric and nonsensical this all is. Let's listen to it one more time in case you missed it.
Yeah, I'm done. What are you going to do? You going to shoot some kid who's afraid of you and run? You going to shoot an elected official? If you shoot me, you better shoot straight. I don't know why you're in my city. You did the governor was not contacted. This is Trump and his outrageous attempt to not only target our sanctuary city, but to frighten us and intimidate us. This is wrong, and I hope that none of you will use those guns to shoot anybody. There's no reason to shoot anybody. Don't allow them to make your service in a service where you're killing people. Don't do it. Defy them. Don't shoot those guns for anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's just get into the next clip. Let's just get into the next clip here. I got this one and one more, and then we're going to shut this thing down. Once again, man, this is why, if I'm not mistaken, the poll ratings, right? The approval rating for Democrats, it's dropped down even lower. From my understanding, it was at 21%. And if you notice, once the approval rating of Democrats came out as being 21%, if you notice, all of a sudden they weren't polling that anymore. They stopped when it was that low. But from what I heard recently, it has dropped down as low as 16% now. Quietly, polls are still being done. They're not really being publicized the way that they were before, at least as it pertains to this public sentiments of Democrat Party. But from my understanding, from what I saw a while ago, it's gone down from 21% to 16%. But this is the reason why, right? You're just participating in nonsense like this, and people can see right through it. None of this has anything to do with fighting for any type of cause. This is just simply show. This is just you know, grandstanding and being foolish and ignorant. Now let's get into this next clip here.
To stop here where the guns are. I want you all to take pictures of these guns and let people know that they're in our city with guns, and I'm sure they have orders to shoot and kill. I don't know, but they.
You see what I'm saying with the ignorance, man? These people are here. They're not these people. They are the National Guard who are under the control of Gavin Newsom, but that control can be overtaken by the president if the president sees fit that he has to do so, where you have a lame brain governor like Gavin Newsom who is sitting on his hands not doing anything in the midst of chaos and all these so-called peaceful protests. These aren't just men in the city, guys with guns, right? They're National Guardsmen that are doing their job. Why are these men with guns in our city? LAPD have guns, right? The LA Sheriff's Department has guns. The LA SWAT team has guns, right? Law enforcement carries guns. And the fact that she would even utter out of her mouth, do they have orders to shoot to kill? I don't know. That is the height of ignorance. When you're talking, that is gaslighting on another level. And this is something that she is notoriously known for doing. I made mention of this clip numerous times. I haven't played it in a while. I don't have it loaded up now, so forgive me for it. Maybe next time I talk about Maxine Waters, I have this clip loaded up. But it was pre-election. I played it numerous times prior to the election, where she was on MSNBC, and she was literally saying that if Trump doesn't win, he has extremists training in the hills that will descend down on communities of color to take them out if he doesn't win. That is literally what she said on MSNBC. That is literally what this woman says.
This is a man who we'd better be careful about. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the president to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with, who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack. And when he talks about race, we know, and I'm going to tell you again today, Donald Trump is a pure racist. And I am worried that the attack is going to be on people of color.
And like I said, in being 200 years old, you would think that she would have some sort of maturity to her by now. But she doesn't. She doesn't. And it's this type of rhetoric that gets people hurt. And it's this type of rhetoric that creates an environment for chaos. It creates an environment that leads to 2 failed assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life. They're the ones that are creating the environment for violence because you're saying nonsense like this. You know good and well those men are not there to shoot to kill anybody, just simply to restore order. And the fact that you would even utter out of your mouth, are these men here to shoot to kill? Do they have orders to shoot to kill? I don't know. That is so irresponsible of someone that is in the position that Maxine Waters is in, a position of power and influence, to utter stuff that is that ridiculous, to utter words and rhetoric that is that not just ridiculous, but stupid, ignorant, and unintelligent. Anyways, let's take it from the top. I'll let it play. Let it roll.
To stop here where the guns are. I want y'all to take pictures of these guns and let people know that they're in our city with guns, and I'm sure they have orders to shoot and kill. I don't know, but otherwise they wouldn't have guns.
One question, Representative Ms. Waters, if there's one statement that or a message that you can send to Donald Trump, what is that message here today?
My message to Donald Trump is you are a cruel human being, and that you are using the poorest people in the land, the most vulnerable people in the land, to promote your politics. You are wrong. We know what this is all about. We have people who are immigrants here who are trying to seek a better living, who have come from places.
I'm sorry, I messed that up. I didn't mean to rewind it, but they love conflating illegal immigration with immigration. Nothing is happening to people who immigrate here legally, right? What's happening, as we all know, is that Trump is restoring justice by removing illegal immigrants, particularly the ones that are committing crimes, dangerous crimes. They're literally trying to make the streets safer for everybody, and you're literally trying to keep and maintain chaos.
He used during his campaign, where he was going to get millions of them out of here. And I think it's come to the point where he thinks he's got to show something. But also, his ridiculousness has taken over the armed services to celebrate his birthdays coming up. And people are saying, are you going to spend millions of dollars celebrating your birthday using the armed services to do it? And I think that adds to it. All of this is coming to the forefront now.
And Congresswoman, how should the city of LA and the state of California react to this? What's the smart play here?
All of the elected officials in this city should be on the street. The mayor should be on the street. The city council should be on the street. Everybody should be on the street. All of the state elected officials. All of us in Congress. We're supposed to be in Congress tomorrow, but I want you to know I'm trying to stop him from getting richer and richer on crypto. The more money he has, the more powerful he has, the more he will elect people. So we got a lot of work to do.
Ms. Waters, bodies on the street, basically.
Bodies on the street. People on the street. Absolutely.
Ms. Waters.
Bodies on the street, people on the street. That's what he wants. He wants bodies on the street and people on the street. Unbelievable. This type of rhetoric and fear mongering, it is criminal. It is criminal to sit and articulate this type of foolishness as a congresswoman.
Before we let you go, anything that you can say to anybody watching or the public that wants to come out here, or just simply watching, or wants to know anything that you want to tell them that they should do or shouldn't do?
Well, here's what I want to support. I want to support people having a voice. Peaceful protests are okay. They're all right. I want them to know what happened in the civil rights movement, where we got on the street.
I'm done. The video's over with. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're out. We're out. Thank you guys for joining me today. We're not doing this. And if there's one thing, especially when you're talking about Black Democrat politicians, they love disrespecting the civil rights movement. Nobody disrespects Black history like these DNC Black politicians, like Maxine Waters, people like Brandon Johnson out in Chicago. They love conflating and saying everything is like the civil rights movement, everything is like slavery, everything is like Jim Crow. It's unbelievably disrespectful comparing the civil rights movement to anything that's happening now. You know, what was going on during the civil rights movement has nothing to do with illegal immigrants crossing the border and the rule of law being enforced, being that if you come to the country illegally, you must be removed, especially if you're committing crime. No other country in the world operates how the U.S. operates, where you can just sneak into another country that isn't yours, and you're allowed to just stay and have a good time and build your family and commit crime and know that you're being sheltered in a sanctuary city. That and the civil rights movement are two different things. So with that, we're going to end this video here. I'm done. This woman is unbelievably disrespectful and stupid. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say stupid, dumb, idiot, and all those kind of things. But we're, you know, at the end of the video now, this woman is retarded. So, anyways, sorry if that, you know, hurts people's feelings. You know? This is the face of a moron, ladies and gentlemen. This is the face of a complete idiot. I was trying really hard not to go there, but I couldn't help myself. This is the face of an idiot. And with all that being said, that does it for today's news. So thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video on your social media platforms. And also do not forget to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. And until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.